Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. In front of us today is the Batmobile from Arkham Knight. This game came out back in 2015 and it was a smash success as far as I know. It had one of the coolest Batmobiles of all time. In pursuit mode, you could drive it crazy fast and smash through things, and in battle mode, I'd say this Batmobile is probably the most combat effective out of any of the previous iterations. This is the latest LEGO design to have come from Lucas, who has kind of a knack for making Batmobiles, and just like the rest of these models, you can find the build instructions for this vehicle in our web store, www.brickvault.toys. Included with each purchase is the PDF step-by-step building instructions, as well as a parts list for easily acquiring the pieces you need online. Buying instructions is a great way to help support the channel, as well as the designers that we work with, like Lucas here. Also, because this is the second Batmobile Lucas has made from the Arkham series, there is a discount for purchasing both models together. Right, back to the model at hand, there are a few design choices I think you might like to see a little bit closer. Starting off in the front, remember this vehicle is heavily armored if you ever played it in the game. So you can see right in the beginning that there are some wheel covers that hang over the front of the wheels, and you can see that those front tires are actually split into two different sets, just like from the actual gameplay. Taking an even deeper look into the front grille, you can see the little trans pieces that are meant to be some of the lights, and even the bat symbol insignia right at the bottom is actually pretty darn accurate as to how the model's supposed to look. Now, taking more of a profile shot on the Batmobile, you can see some of the side detailing. Those grille pieces, I believe, are supposed to be detailing that matches up with some of those exhausts, and the 2x2 round tile is, I believe, the joint that connects to the rear suspension, or at least it's supposed to be that kind of detailing. There's quite a lot of depth actually when you take a closer look at all of this detailing on the side, and I think my favorite little piece to point out is the use of that black panel window piece that outlines the little 1x1 round tile. Now, jumping towards the back, I always thought the Arkham Knight Batmobile looked somewhat like a small porcupine because there's just so many spikes coming off, but like always, you're gonna have a giant jet port for shooting out flames, and there is an interesting semi-function here where you can open up the back trunk to fit maybe some of the accessories for your Batman minifig, but you will see that the only way to really access that is by actually lifting off the back tires, so that's why I call it a semi-function. You can fit stuff in the back, but it's not something you can do while the model actually rests normally on all four wheels. When it comes to the top detailing, I really like the design choices used for the cockpit. I'll get into how that actually opens up and closes a little bit later, and then the rest of the build detail along the top shows a little bit more of maybe what that engine manifold might look like, and there's also some katanas used to outline a little bit more of that slick detailing. So like all of these Batmobiles, you can of course fit your figure on the inside, and recently we did just get the Arkham Knight Batman from that remote control app controlled Batman set. I don't think officially they called him that, but anyways, that Batman does exist in minifig form, and you can easily just take the top off. It studs in with two studs. You kind of flip that little panel in the back forward, and you can cinch up the front of the cockpit and that panel piece together, where the ears of Batman's cowl actually flip out the little opening there. So it's just right in terms of a snug fit. And now let's check out the handling of this vehicle. I just pulled off the piece that's by far the most delicate on the model. The side armor is just kind of held on by two studs. You can open up the trunk very easily and close it. And then there's that front bit of armoring that's a little bit loose, sort of, because the stud goes in on the side, but it's actually kind of hard to knock it out of place. It just gets loose chunks sometimes when moving the model around. Now, outside of the front side armor and the back side armor, I would say that this thing is pretty easy to move around, but when you start playing with it a little bit rough, those little chunks of the model tend to pop off from time to time. This is a look at the build from underneath if you wanted to see what it looked like. And so there is the basic build. So when I handle it a little bit roughly or carelessly, I'm gonna be knocking off those larger chunks, but at the end of the day, they're just larger chunks of the model that you can easily snap back on in a second. So that's how this model handles, and I guess that is all I've got to say about this build. Remember, if you are interested in building this creation for yourself, links in the description below to our web store, www.brickvault.toys. And if you enjoy the content that we make, please consider liking or subscribing. Definitely comment on the video, let us know what you want us to make in the future. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time at BrickVault.